welcome back. It's been so amazing with the amount of response I've got from everyone who's been watching my videos. There's been a lot of requests for a lot of dishes, and I promise that every time I'm going to make something new and I'm going to show each one of you all. However, it's just the time constraint that I have, and that's the reason why I can't do everything at one go. But I promise you all that there will be all of the dishes that you have requested on the future shows. Right, what I'm going to do today. Today, one of the viewers had requested me to show them chaats. Chaats are basically Indian street food which are served up in a very rustic way on the Indian street food corners. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you my version of the chaat. These are chaats which I serve at my restaurant, and we just step it up a little bit, make it look more posher. However, as I always say, they're very simple to make, very easy to assemble. So today we are going to do a chaat which is called Aloo Tikki and Chana Chaat, and at a restaurant we serve it under the name of Tikki, right? So let's go through the ingredients today. Right, let's start with the spices. We've got coriander powder, we've got red chili powder, we've got cumin powder, we've got chana masala, we've got turmeric, we've got hing. Hing is in English, sorry, is called asafoetida. And then we've got salt. Right, we've got some fresh coriander, we've got some chopped garlic, some chopped green chili, we've got some mixed cress here for garnish. Now here I've got some potatoes which I boiled just half an hour ago, so they're still quite warm, I would say, and I've just mashed them up a little bit. I've got some crushed green peas. Again, these are cooked green peas which I've just crushed it slightly. I've got some boiled chickpeas. You can use the chickpeas which you get in the tins as well, but I prefer to just boil them. However, you could just change it according to your needs and your time constraints. Then we've got some fresh tomato puree here. I've just taken some fresh tomatoes and I've just pureed it in a food processor. And I've got some cooking oil. And here we've got 2 bottles which we've got chutneys. Now this is a tamarind chutney and this is a mint chutney. Now these are very common chutneys which are used in chaats everywhere. What I'll do is I won't be able to show you the recipe for this today. However, sorry, I would like to tell you the whole recipe for this. But I promise you in my future shows I'll definitely show you how to make these. These are quite simple to make. For a tamarind chutney, all you need is 200 grams of tamarind, 100 grams of dates, which are seedless, preferably if you get them, 400 grams of jaggery, and now what we need to do is, you need to take the jaggery, the tamarind and the dates, and boil them in around 4 cups of water for around 20 minutes. Once these are all boiled, all you need to do is strain it out, and whatever residue is left over, you need to put it back in a boiling pan, right, and cook it again. And all you need to do then is add a few seasoning to it. That's ginger powder. You need to add a little bit of roasted cumin powder there, half teaspoon of chili powder, half teaspoon of black salt. That's it. And you just cook it for another 15-20 minutes. Now you need to remember, the more you cook this sauce, the more thicker it's going to get. So just keep it to what consistency you think is best for you. Some people like to serve it when the consistency is quite watery. Some people like to serve it when it's quite thick. However, I prefer to serve it slightly thick, so it gives that texture to it. Now this is a very basic mint chutney that we use at our restaurant, and it's made all over India in all homes. Now the recipe for this is you take 1 part of coriander to 1 part of mint, around, I would say, let's say 1 bunch of coriander, 1 bunch of mint, around 4 to 5 green chilies, right? You take this, put it in a blender, just blend it all up, mix it with a little bit of yogurt to give it a good texture, and add in half a teaspoon of black salt, half a teaspoon of chaat masala, little bit of normal cooking salt, right? And just mix it properly, and you'll get this consistency here. What you could also do is you could add, there's a lot of variations to it. Some people also add raw mango to it, some people add dry pomegranate seeds to it. You could just mix and vary with your recipes. However, this is how we do it, very simple and basics, right? Let's get cooking. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to make this aloo tikki first. So we're going to make the potato patty first, right? So let's start with the green peas. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly temper these green peas in the pan here, okay? So let's get this on. Now what I'm going to do is, we're going to have some cooking oil here. I'm going to take some cooking oil in the pan. Right, I'm going to add around just 1.5 tablespoons of oil. You don't need too much oil there. Right. I'm going to heat up the gas. Right. Let the oil become slightly hot. Now once the oil gets nice and hot, now you need to remember there's not too much of green peas in here. So you need to make sure the quantity is enough. Now the oil is nice and hot here. So what we're going to do is, now we're going to add the green peas to it. Alright, so just added the green peas to it. I'm going to take it off the pan here. Don't want it to stick too much. I'm going to add a little bit of the green chilies to it. There we go. Just going to add a touch of green chili here. Alright. Now I'm going to add the spices in this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of salt here. Alright. Just a touch, because there will be salt in the potatoes as well. Now this is what is the main thing, the asafoetida. It gives a beautiful flavor and it's a very good digestive as well. So around a quarter teaspoon of that. A little bit of the coriander powder there, a little bit of the cumin powder there, a little bit of chili powder, a little bit of turmeric. That's it. That's all we need to do here. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to just chop it into it. Just to bring it all together. That's it. You just bring it all together. You don't need to cook it too much, right? They're all cooked. I just need to bring all them together. Now that's all seasoned and done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it to the bowl here. Alright, there you go. Now it's actually giving out such beautiful aroma of the spices that have come together. I wish you could smell this. Just brilliant. I'm going to reduce the heat here. Put this pan to the side. Now I'm going to add these potatoes. Now as I said, the potatoes are still quite warm. I've just boiled the potatoes half an hour ago. What you could also do is you could make this patty and you can freeze it as well. Right? I'll show you the next step. Add the potatoes in there. Right? What I'm going to do is now add a little bit of seasoning to it. Again, to the potatoes as well, because the potatoes are bland, so they need seasoning. Again, around half a teaspoon of, we'll say, yeah, a little more than half a teaspoon of salt, a little bit of the chili powder, more, a little bit of the turmeric for the color, a little bit of the cumin, a little bit of the coriander. That's it. That's about it. We've got everything there. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to mix this properly. Right? Now you need to mix this properly. Okay? Now I'm going to shallow fry this. So really, you don't need to add any binders to it. Usually we would, if you would want to deep fry it, I would suggest to add a little bit of breadcrumbs or a little bit of corn flour so it holds it together. But because we are going to shallow fry this, you really don't need to add anything, because it's just going to sit in the pan and it's going to cook on its own. And as I said, the potatoes are still warm, the green peas are still warm, so we just need a slight color on it. Everything is cooked in it, right? But as I said, if you feel that it's breaking or you feel that it's not working, the mixture, if it's too watery, or sometimes, it really depends on the potatoes as well, which potatoes you're using. Some are quite waxy, so you need to just add a little bit of breadcrumbs or a little bit of corn flour, right? Avoid it if possible. If not, always you can add it. It does not harm, right? This is mixed properly. Now what I've done is I've already got some ready here. If you look here, I've already shaped them now, right? Here we go. That's what we've done. We've already shaped it up. I'm going to leave this on a side. Leave this on one side. And what we're going to do now is before I start frying them, I'm going to prepare the chickpeas for this. I need to cook the chickpeas because they're going to form the base for this. Again, we've got the pan here. We're going to take some oil. 2 tablespoons of oil. We're going to let it heat up. Right? what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to add a little bit of chopped garlic to this. Right. 1.5 teaspoons of garlic. I'm going to cook the garlic on. This is like the chickpeas are going to be semi-dry. They're not going to be like very soggy. Again, you need to give it a quite good balance. And usually in India, when you eat aloo tikki and chana chaat, usually what they do is they've got the garlic are done. I'll continue with the story later. I'm going to add now. I'm going to add this tomato puree to it, around half a cup. That's it. Alright. That's all. Right. I'm going to cook it. Now because I've used the fresh one, the fresh tomato puree here, I need to cook it a little bit longer. But if you use the plum tomatoes in tin, you don't need to really cook it too long. They're already cooked, so you just need to give it a rest. So I'm going to add the seasoning to this again. So let's start with salt. You've got a little bit of salt. To taste. Cumin, turmeric. We've got coriander. We've got the red chili. You can again increase or decrease the heat according to your taste preferences. Cumin, and this is the chana masala there. Alright, that's done. That's all right. Right. Now I'm going to add the chickpeas to it, and we're going to cook it. Now, as I said, this needs to be dry, so I'm going to put a cook it. Now these chickpeas, again you can cook in advance and keep, it's not a problem. Right. You see there's a slight coating. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm just quickly going to add a little bit of water to it, so that the spices get cooked up properly. Right? I'm just going to get a little bit of water. I'm going to add a little bit of water to this. There we go. I'll add a little bit of water, so that's it. I'm going to let it cook. Yes, the chana masala brings us such beautiful smell. Now while this is cooking, before I finish this off, I'm just going to throw a little bit of coriander in this for some nice, rich, fresh flavor there. All of it in. Right. Beautiful. Now I'm going to slow the gas here, and we're going to start cooking. Now let this cook in the meantime, because as I said, there's raw tomatoes in there. They need time to cook. I'm going to start with the potato cakes. Right. Now we again need good amount of oil in this to fry them. Right. So that's. That's around 7 tablespoons of oil there. Yeah. That's done for you. Now keep stirring the chickpea, you don't want them to brown. Yeah. So you've got a very nice texture there again. It looks absolutely stunning. Now you just want to wait for the oil to heat up. Now in the meantime the oil is heating up. I was saying that when you usually get aloo tikki chana chaat, when you have it in Delhi or Bombay on the street, you usually get these chickpeas. Usually get the tikkis. They have a big griddle or a tawa where they are actually shallow frying the tikkis, and they top it up with a nice chickpea dish here, and they add all the sauces, all the chutneys on that. So it's served in a very rustic way, as I said earlier. However, we're going to just make it look a little more presentable. However, that's again very good in the way they serve it. This is more of a restaurant style. The flavors are still going to remain the same. However, you're just going to make sure that it looks a little bit more presentable. Right. Now, always make sure that the oil that you are going to fry the aloo tikki in shouldn't be too hot, otherwise it's going to burn, and it shouldn't be too cold as well. Right? You have to maintain the right temperature there. As I said, they are quite warm there, so you don't need to cook anything. The chickpeas are, the green peas are already cooked. The potatoes are already boiled, so they're all cooked. We just need to give it a right color and make sure they are heated through right till inside. The chickpeas are almost coming together. I'm just going to taste the chickpeas to make sure that the seasonings are right in there. absolutely amazing. Beautiful, beautiful flavor. I love the dish. Nice and hot, very nice. Right, I think it's almost done. Wow, the chickpeas taste amazing. Right, now I'm going to put this on one side, they're already done. Now, I think the oil is also nice and hot. So I'm going to just lower the heat here. I'm going to add our look the sizzle there. Now our tikki is done. Make sure your oil is your heat is absolutely low. As I said, if it's too hot, it's just going to burn the base. It won't get cooked from inside. And we're looking for like right color there. Right? Just shake it a little bit just to make sure it doesn't stick. Right? That's it. I'm just going to splash some oil over it. Right, let's turn it. Look at that color. That's exactly the color. You know, it should be nice golden brown out there. Right, the heat. I'll just increase the heat a little bit just to make sure it gets the right color. Right. Look at that color there. Beautiful, isn't it? It looks so nice. And when I'm going to do the presentation, it's even going to look better. Look at this color. Looks brilliant, isn't it? Now same again. Just stir it. Just stir it a little bit, please. And just stir it a little bit, just to make sure it doesn't stick. Perfect. Now I'm going to leave that for another 30 seconds. And as I always do is just keep basting it. Just keep basting it a little bit. Now I think that's almost finally done. I'm going to just increase the heat a little bit just to make sure we get the perfect color there, which I'm sure we are getting there, right? And it's heated right through the center. As I said, you don't need to cook it too long. Everything is cooked in it. That's all done. I think that's perfectly done. I'm going to switch off the gas there, and I'm going to put this back on the plates here. Just be careful while you take out. Go. Got the right color there. Now we're going to remove this over, and now we're going to plate the dish. Here we go. Right, for the plating. Now what we're going to do is, I'm going to get my plate out here. Here we go. First, I'm going to start with the base. Now the chutneys. Okay. First, I'm going to put the tamarind chutney there. Got this squeezy bottle. We're going to put a little bit of tamarind chutney. The chutney has to be plenty. That's the main thing there. I've got the tamarind there. I'm going to add the mint as well. That's it. Now I'm going to add the first tikki there. Just put it in. That's it. That's all done. Now I'm going to take a spoon. Alright. Now the chickpeas go in there. Just be careful while you do it. That's it. Just a little bit of the chickpeas. And now I'm going to add the second one of that. Just be careful. You want that to go in right inside. That's it. That's all done. Alright. Put the two chickpeas there. Just make sure that they sit well inside so they don't fall. Alright. Alright. now I'm going to add a little bit of garnish there. What I've got here is, I've got some Greek yogurt here, and I've just added a little bit of sugar to the Greek yogurt, and I'm just going to pipe it over it. Looks beautiful. Look at that. That's done. I'm going to add a little bit of the mixed grass here. The garnish. And yeah. And finally, I've got these. I've just made I made a dough with plain flour, salt, and I just cut them into strips, and I just they're nice and crunchy. Just sit on top of this. Here you are, aloo tikki and chana chaat served the way it is at a restaurant, and it tastes as good as you would eat on any street corner of India. So let me know what you think about this. Please put your reviews in. Please put your requests in, and I'll more than happily make those dishes for you. And this week what we're going to do is, as I said, we're going to concentrate on chaats. So there are more chaats on the way. Keep looking forward to it. See you. Take care. Goodbye.